Welcome to Oracle TV. I'm Fritz Nelson, Senior Vice President of Content Operations and your host for what is the 11th stop on the Oracle CloudWorld Tour. We've got some great guests for you today, talking about all the hottest innovations here at CloudWorld Tour London. We've got a brand new product called AI Agent Studio. We're going to talk about AI in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and the Oracle AI Database 23 AI. Most important, we're going to be talking to customers about how they're using all this great technology to benefit their customers, their employees, and their business overall. And we want to hear from you, so please comment on whatever platform you're tuning into. We'll get to all of the comments that we can. And with that, let's get started. To kick things off, we're going to get right into some product news. And to do so, I'm joined by Chris Leone, Executive Vice President of Product Development for Fusion Cloud HCM and SCM. Chris, you made a major new product announcement today, Oracle AI Agent Studio for Fusion Cloud applications. But before we go there, let's talk about why there's so much talk about AI agents.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it's a game changer from an automation perspective. You know, for the first time now, we can build workflow automations through AI agents that aren't kind of deterministic, aren't code driven. They use the power of the large language model to make decisions as to how they facilitate the workflow. So they don't have to be changed over time. They can learn over time and get better and smarter. So it's really a game changer for business automation.
So automation at an entirely new scale.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, today we've been really focused on kind of helping automations in the flow of work. So helping people finish tasks much more quickly. But really where it's going is full-blown autonomous workflows where, you know, employees can kick off a process and sit back and wait for exceptions to arise or issues to happen or the process to finish. So really changing the game as far as business automation.
And there are a lot of AI agents already built into Fusion Cloud applications. How many are we up to now?
Yeah, we've got a lot. We're not gonna count because there's a lot, but I'll give you some numbers. So we started building what I would call generative AI services, where we use the generative power of these large language models to generate content like job descriptions or create goals or summarize, shift notes and do that type of work. And we've delivered over 100 plus of those. And frankly, it's really hard to keep count because it's just really easy to add them throughout the suite. But then we've moved into AI agents, which are really about, automating more kind of end-to-end processes, and we're starting a single task at a time and then collecting tasks, multiple tasks to finish a process. And we have about 50 plus of those that we've already delivered in our applications.
Okay, let's get to the news. AI Agent Studio, in a nutshell, what is it?
It is really a agentic development environment for customers and partners, and frankly, our development organization as well, to create, modify, build from scratch agents. So they can take our predefined templates, they can save as and make some changes, or they can create these agents from scratch. And what's different and what I believe is fundamental here is, first and foremost, these are natively integrated to Fusion applications. And when I say natively integrated, we predefine a bunch of business objects with predefined security parameter set. All of that is done so you can add APIs to your workflows, which makes it super convenient. And the second piece that's just very differentiated is now customers and partners have the same development tools that we have in development to build these. So not only can we build them, but customers and partners can build them as well.
So what's driving the need to put the power in the hands of the customer?
Frankly, it's about creativity and imagination. In our development organization, we're smart, I think, but really partners and customers know their businesses better than us. And so they can take what we deliver and personalize it and extend it and really tailor it to their specific business processes. So for the first time, we can take organizational knowledge, put them into our agents, and customers can take that extra step, and partners can take that extra step to really personalize them and make sure that they're delivering the return on investment that customers really want.
Hey, you've been out talking to customers, I'm sure, about some of this, but can you give us a sense of what kinds of things you see customers maybe trying to do with this?
Yeah, I think, what I always say, it's kind of a crawl, walk, run type metaphor. I always encourage customers to get started. So the 100+ generative services that we have are, going to save you quarters and half dollars, right? They're going to save you time in a process. So creating a job description that might take you 30 minutes to do, now you can do in a minute. And so if you have 5,000, 10,000 job descriptions, that time adds up, right? So you can put a bunch of these in and save a bunch of time. As we get into more AI agent full workflows where we're running processes autonomously, that's going to open up productivity to a whole new level. So now I don't have to hire 20 more people in a certain department. I can add agents and agent workflows and really augment the workforce that I already have and even create more productivity. So I'll be dialing up and down productivity metrics based on what agents I can put into the workforce.
Well, that's exciting. We need a lot more of that. Is it relegated to Fusion applications?
This release, AI Agent Studio, is really focused on Fusion applications. However, and what I say is, look, if most of your workflow, 60, 70% of your workflow is around Fusion applications, build the agent in Fusion and extend externally. So you can punch out to an API that might be custom, that might be a SERP API for Google search to do a web search. You can even bring your own large language model. So we deliver Fusion optimized large language models. Actually, we use Llama for our agents because it has reasoning and decisioning and function calling, which we need for those agents. But if you want to use Anthropic or Open API, you can bring your own large language model. We have a credential store. You can register it and plug it in.
So who's going to be the typical user of AI Agent Studio?
Every user in the organization. So it's for managers, kick off a managerial process to execute and automate. It's for end users. So if I want to look for a new job or I need a coach as to which training courses I need to acquire the next set of skills, I can communicate directly with an agent and ask them questions, get recommendations, and actually have them define, hey, look, what does my career path need to look like for me to get to the next level in the organization? So anybody in the organization will now have access to kicking off and automating a personal experience with an AI agent.
Okay, I can't wait to do it myself.
Yeah, we need to create a Fritz agent. That's what we need to do.
All right, Chris, thank you so much for joining us. And kicking things off next, we are going to have the UK's own Wood PLC, so don't go anywhere. But first, we've been talking about AI agents. Let's take a look at how one works.
Remember those futuristic cartoons with flying cars, instant gourmet meals, and robots doing chores? Well, gourmet meals still take time, but robots, we got you. They're called AI agents, and they're live today in Oracle's Fusion Cloud applications. Now you can have goal-oriented agents running end-to-end business processes in hiring, field service, customer support, ledger analysis, financial forecasting, and coding. Over 50 AI agents ready to serve today. Get the guide at oracle.com/applications.
I'm here with Dawn Titensor, who is the Vice President of Digital Transformation at Wood PLC. Dawn, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, it's glad to be here.
Tell us a little bit about Wood PLC.
Yeah, so Wood is a large global consulting and engineering company. It has an employee population of 36,000. Wood has a complex workforce, so it comprises of technical and professional employees, trade and craft, as well as a contingent worker element as well.
Okay, so you're in charge of people systems and you've got 36,000 people, lots of challenges. What are some of the challenges that you face?
So Wood has a legacy of 160 years. It's been born through acquisition and merger. So we had a very disparate HR systems landscape. Bringing 36,000 employees into one core HR system across 60 countries globally came with a lot of challenges. It's not been easy. I'm pleased to say we are there now, and that's also allowed us then to grow out our offering within HCM, improving the employee experience, driving self-service, and also with it a lot of culture change as well, moving to a cloud technology.
What are some of the particular challenges around, having people in 60 different country?
So there's an element of legislative challenges, but also new ways of working, rolling out standardized processes, bringing our local workforce as well along on the journey, as well as engaging with our employees and our contingent workers throughout.
So talk a little bit about the changes going from all those systems, from the mergers and acquisitions into one system. What was that process like?
It was an HR strategy. It was driven by HR, but supported also by our finance and our IT functions. Our strategy was looking for our HR function to become more agile, which was needed. Also to be able to recognise and tap in and retain our talent, as well as bringing in one way of working, one way to engage with our employees, and making it easier to work at Wood.
What are some of the different parts of the HCM system that you're using?
So we have Oracle Recruit with Recruit Booster. We are leveraging Journeys for onboarding, Core HR. We've also got our talent suite as well, with Learn. And we've just recently implemented Help Desk and Digital Assistant, which just went live January and February.
Oh, wow. And so how are employees responding?
This is a really good question. So we are keeping an eye on seeing our adoption and how well things are embedding. So far, we've had a real positive response to having Digital Assistant and bringing some of that AI functionality into the system. Our focus is on our employee experience as well as our operational users, creating more efficiencies, better experience, and really driving that self-service element too.
So you mentioned AI. What are some of the things that you're doing in HCM with AI?
It's such an exciting space. So we have recently gone live with the AI features for Recruit, and that's across our candidates, external and internal. But also leveraging for our recruiters as well, those suggested candidate elements. Delighted to say we've got some quantitative metrics as well. So in our trading craft workforce, looking at pre-AI to post-AI, we've actually reduced our time to hire by 53%.
Oh, wow.
Which is remarkable. And just to say, Wood doesn't manufacture anything. It doesn't make anything. We sell people and people hours. So if we don't have that time to hire in good time, we don't make any money from our clients. So it's been so important. We've seen an increase in our applicants per requisition.
Oh, wow.
So the AI is actually helping drive the right candidates to roles where we maybe wouldn't have recognised those skills before. We've also gone live with our Core HR for my client groups. So that's a lot of the administrative features, leveraging the AI there. And obviously with ODA, generative AI is coming through. So our digital assistant is called Eva. And she's doing a grand job of
Great.
learning on the job.
We need some Eva. And I haven't hired anyone using recruiting for a while, but I also imagine the ability to just kind of generate a great job description would also help.
And that's freeing up our recruiters to actually do a lot of the value add, less of the transactional activity, and actually using those tools now at their fingertips so that they can focus on the things they should be focusing on.
Sure.
Our performance as well, we're live with goal creation for AI.
Okay.
We haven't yet done our final performance review, but again, the feedback we're getting has really been positive. I would say AI in goals is going to prove, I think, very beneficial across our workforce and opens up the opportunity for our trade and craft workers perhaps to be encouraged more into our performance and goal setting within HCM.
That's fantastic. Now, a lot of the talk here is around AI agents. Are you looking forward to some of that?
Absolutely. And I know there's some exciting announcements
That's right.
to happen today. AI agents were announced in CloudWorld last year. It sparked a lot of interest within our organization. I am very fortunate our leadership have a real appetite for AI. Makes my job a lot easier.
Great, yeah.
And I think we're going to have a lot of opportunity Again, for driving that self-service element, for making it easier to work at Wood, simplifying the way we do things, and in particular, I think around some of our high volume processes and activity, self-service, manager self-service, and also our recruitment space as well.
Good. That's very exciting. Dawn, thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome. Thank you.
All right, next up, I will be joined by Richard Smith. He is the Executive Vice President and GM for EMEA Cloud Infrastructure. We'll be right back.
Enterprise applications without AI, that's like a car without wheels or a plane without wings. For almost a decade, Oracle has embedded AI within our applications at no extra cost across the entire suite. Fusion Cloud ERP, EPM, HCM, and CX, so you already have the AI to automate manual processes that slow you down, react to market shifts in real time, and stay ahead of the competition. This is your AI advantage. Get a free demo at oracle.com/applications.
I'm joined by Richard Smith, Executive Vice President and General Manager for EMEA Cloud Infrastructure. First of all, thanks for having us. We love being here in London. And I know you've been around all of EMEA at many of these so far.
Yeah.
It's been a great tour.
It's been a phenomenal tour. The energy, the enthusiasm, the commitment, and frankly, the ability to just get with customers and partners.
That's always the best.
Second to none.
Yeah. Hear it all come to life. Now, here in the UK, we made a $5 billion investment. Can you tell us about that? What does it mean?
Well, first and foremost, I mean, it's a huge number, right? And I think it's representative of the opportunity here in the UK. Now, it's focused on many things. It's focused on helping deploy in and around the sovereign environment, helping ignite the artificial intelligence capabilities that we were talking about in the keynote, and frankly, creating a bigger industry overall, right? And as you and I know, Larry and Safra, we talk about making the market, making the industry bigger. Well, they're kind of putting their money right on the dime to make that happen.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, a lot of buzz about that, so I'm happy to see us do that. Now, why, in your words, why is Oracle uniquely positioned to help customers handle all the priorities that you must be hearing as you travel around the region?
We so we have a big region. You know, Europe it's a very big region. I will tell you, we talked about it in the keynote this morning. Firstly, we design and deploy for virtually any customer configuration that you can think of. Customer wants their data in the public cloud. The customer wants their data in the private cloud. They want it to sit between the two. We have an answer to every one of those, every single one. And the other thing that's quite really unique about us, for instance, is we have the stack, whether you start at the data layer, which is that golden nugget of power, all the way through to the application space. Frankly, you know, I'm very proud of it as an Oracle leader, but frankly, I think we have an incredible story that's frankly unbeatable.
Yeah, and the cloud part is so incredible because we kind of started late. We can call it a Gen 2 cloud, but we thought that gave us the advantage of hearing what customers wanted and building that rather than, one size fits all.
Yeah.
Okay, so AI, you must have heard that as you travel
a couple of times.
Yeah. Why is Oracle such a trusted partner and becoming more and more so by the day from customers with AI?
Well, again, frankly, very, very similar story. All right. It starts with data, right? Oracle's heritage, from day one is all about data and security, by the way, which is another really critical element of it. The other thing is, you don't need to move your data and move it to different places within the Oracle domain. The fact is, and Larry talks about this passionately as we all do, you have the data, you keep it in the same place, you modernize it through technologies like 23 AI, and you vectorize it. It's available and delivers value at speed and pace. You don't have to go and do all kinds of complex things to actually achieve that same inherent value, right?
Yeah. And I think people sleep on the security part too, but our customers don't.
Yeah.
And so that becomes very, very important. Now, in a bit, I'm going to talk to Raj about the cloud and Hasan about data platforms. But I'm wondering on the cloud, we talked about all the choice we're giving. How do you find customers responding to that?
You know what? Well, first and foremost, the demand is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I mean, we saw it in our recent earnings now.
Yeah.
RPO of $130 billion
Yes.
is indicative of the demand. So, and it's consistent, you know, wherever you go, whether here in the UK, whether across Europe, Middle East, and Africa, there is demand for the Oracle value proposition. But I tell you the other thing, and again, that really, really plays for us is the fact that we are so security conscious. We are maniacally security conscious. We deployed the sovereign cloud in parts of EMEA. As soon as we deployed it, actually it filled up. Now we have to expand it again. So,
Right.
I mean, if I sound excited, it's not because I've had too much coffee. It's just the demand is real. It's very genuine.
Yeah, and I was talking with one of our customers, Morrisons, about, it took them a long time to move to the cloud, and you hear these stories. BNP Paribas is another one that you've brought up before, and it's sort of refreshing to see that people get there and then they go, oh, there's all this other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
So that's exciting. So let's go back to our heritage data for a second, and we've talked to Hasan. Hasan had his keynote as well. We've been doing it for 47 years. And I think people kind of fell asleep on that a little bit too. And then all of a sudden it became a lot more important. How are you seeing customers respond to our unified database strategy, our ability to bring AI directly into it?
Well, again, a couple of things. So, I mean, you pointed it out, right? Our heritage has always been about data. Our first project was with the CIA, right? So, I mean, we're pretty good at it.
Yeah.
What I would tell you, first and foremost, so the unified data strategy is, again, about having the data in the right place at the right time without having to do unique or abstract things to derive value from it. The other thing that we've been doing here is we have this phenomenal multi-cloud strategy, right? So we said, hey, look, you can't do this just with one vendor and insist that that's where you've got to be. We had Lloyd's on stage earlier talking about the fact that he doesn't have to make a decision about where the data resides. He makes business decisions. We've enabled that through our strategy.
Yeah, and we're seeing more and more customers get on board with that as well. I mean, that ability to offer choice, run the thing, make the choices they want to make for whatever the workloads are, including their database, are really an advantage.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to wrap up here.
Sure.
But as you look out towards some of the next cities and as we head into our next fiscal year, what are you seeing as the momentum behind the business?
Okay. Well, I mean, we've already talked about demand. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's very real. What I'm also seeing here is the rate and pace at which customers are looking to derive and develop AI. It's moved from project-oriented AI into organizational-driven AI, where people are making courageous decisions and courageous discussions to really deploy AI at scale. So for me, that's a big part of where I think we head into the next year.
I thought what the Baroness said was it's scan, and then something, and then scale. Scan, plan, and scale. Something. It was okay. Yeah. That's what I hear customers talking about. Absolutely. So thank you so much for having us here and for joining us on Oracle TV.
Thanks so much, Fritz.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and right after that, we'll be with Virgin Media O2.
Run Oracle Database in any cloud so you can bring AI to your data anywhere. Develop AI-powered apps, use cutting-edge Gen AI features like vector search, and modernize your apps with Oracle Database running in every popular cloud platform: OCI, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. That means you run your workloads where you see fit with built-in AI, high availability, and the leading performance you expect from Oracle Database. See what you'll be able to do at oracle.com/multicloud.
I'm here with Thijs Van Loon, Senior HR Director at Virgin Media O2. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
First of all, to start off, tell us about Virgin Media O2. I mean, I think people knew Virgin Media, people knew O2.
Absolutely.
Now it's like peanut butter and jelly better together.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that comparison.
You can use it.
Yeah, I will. No, absolutely true. Because if you look at Virgin Media O2, We have 46 million customers here in the UK. Virgin Media traditionally quite strong in entertainment and in fixed network,
Right.
and O2 was really strong in a mobile sector. So by bringing it together, we can offer even better services to our customers, and that really makes me proud. But of course, came with challenges.
Yes, for sure. Well, let's talk about those challenges of bringing a lot of people know about all the integration parts of bringing two companies together, but two, in some ways, similar industries, different parts of it. But what were some of the challenges that you faced?
So you bring 16,000 people together, and you want these 16,000 people to quickly find their way in a new organization,
Sure.
quickly get to know each other, get used to the new culture, but also you want them to focus on the customer, and you want them to focus on bringing those new products alive that you now can offer because you're combined. So what you want them to do is not spend time on the tedious jobs of asking for holidays in different systems, and at the same time your manager really needs to have the right information at the right time. So you need one single source of truth, so that they can make the decisions on workforce management, on workforce planning, even on a day-to-day basis. And I think those were one of the many challenges that we faced while bringing people together from a people perspective.
Were the challenges mostly focused on the employee side or the management side or HR or maybe all of the above?
All of the above. It's just what I say. Like, employees, they suddenly were faced with new systems. We had legacy systems. They were on different packages. So it was really like, how do you find your way in the new organization? And for that, for example, you need to have clear and crystal clear systems that are unified and not separate systems. So that's one of the first things that we actually did, is we said goodbye to 2 legacy HR systems and replaced it by Oracle. One of the challenges there is, like, you have to build everything into Oracle that was in the legacy before you start harmonizing. So that was one of the challenges. The other thing for managers is, like, I have now suddenly members in my team that came from 2 different legacy companies. So what are they all entitled to? How do I, for workforce planning, just day-to-day workforce planning, you had to look in 2 systems rather than 1. So that was one of the first things that we really wanted to sort from that perspective. So I think, yeah, literally all of the above. It all came at the same time.
Okay, so we consolidated systems into one.
Yep.
We come to Oracle, you choose Oracle. What are some of the standout factors that put you in our arms?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And we did, of course, a lot of due diligence and tender work to get to that decision. But personally, I already had experience with Oracle because in a sister company in the Netherlands, we used it as well. Yeah. In the very same circumstances, bringing 2 companies together. And one of the things that I like is the flexibility. And apart from, so you need a good system, you need a solid system, but you also need a flexible system that can actually handle all the peculiarities that we have as a merged organization. The other thing that you need is a company that really thinks along with you, that really comes to you and say, like, okay, what is it that you want to achieve, and how can we support that from a technological perspective in the best way? And I think that brought us to Oracle. That combination, that specific combination of very exciting roadmap, a really good system that's already there, and people that really come in and think along with you.
So if you had to quantify some of the benefits you've gained from bringing these 2 systems together, or not systems, but going to one system, what are some of those benefits you've seen?
Yeah, it's really difficult because if you quantify it, you immediately think about productivity. Well, we didn't measure productivity before in the legacy system, so you go onto a new system. However, if I look at, we have a employee engagement survey, Have Your Say, we call it. One of the things that came out of the Have Your Say survey is, like, I need to do things in different systems. That has really gone to the background. We are right now, because we were the first department within the company to really go into one system. And everybody, of course, there's always complaints how you do it, but actually everybody loved it. The fact that we were the first to merge to one system, people love that. The other thing is, and I think that is quantifiable. So we had a performance management, a new approach that we developed in-house, and then we went to Oracle and said, how can you support us in that? So we built something from scratch, and the uptake is 97%. So 97% of all the people went into Oracle for all the conversations that they need to have, 4 per year. and did a personal reflection and had that conversation with their manager. So 97% on performance management. That is, I've never seen that.
Wow.
And I think that is one of those things where you say like, yeah, supported by the system and a good program, that's what that achieves.
Yeah. If you make it easy for people to do things like
Yeah.
that, then
Yeah.
you see that sort of engagement.
Yeah.
Now, we've been talking a lot at this show here in London about AI.
Yeah.
How are you starting to think about AI as part of human resource processes?
Yeah, really good question. And I know it's a bit of a buzzword,
Yeah.
but we can't underestimate the impact that AI will have on our company, on other companies as well. What we don't have to forget is we are at the center of AI. We are a tech company. Every query that you do in AI will probably use our network.
Yeah.
So we have to. So from a company perspective, we have to understand AI, because otherwise we can't make sure that those connections are being made and what's necessary for that. The other thing is AI will touch each and every process in our company. So in order for us to do the right organizational development, to have the right learning programs in place, but also to advise the organization on future organizational setup, we have to understand AI. Now, and from a very practical perspective, one of our approaches is like, if you look at it all together, it's quite overwhelming. However, if you look at it, you look at the use cases, what is the business really needing? And in our case, at the moment, it's just improved service to our employees, so improve the employee experience when they call us, when they have queries. So that's why we use Oracle Digital Assistants, for example.
Got it.
And I saw a lot of exciting stuff today that I thought like we need to have that. So that was really cool. And the other thing is like in skills management and recruitment, we are already actively using AI just to make those processes more robust, to have better outcomes, but also to speed up those processes.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
All right, next we're going to switch gears and talk about a topic that really is what makes AI relevant, and that's data. Stay tuned.
The best AI comes from the best data, and that's your data in a unified suite.
With built-in AI, Fusion Cloud ERP can automate standard transactions, better predict business outcomes, and optimize cash flow.
Fusion Cloud HCM redefines what a great employee experience is, from recruiting to benefits to performance management.
And Fusion Cloud SCM gives you a smart supply chain platform that can automatically respond to changing market conditions.
Get a free demo at oracle.com/applications.
All right, welcome back. I have the pleasure of being joined by Hasan Rizvi, who is the Executive Vice President of Database Engineering. Hasan, what do you hope that attendees here at CloudWorld London took away from your keynote today?
So Oracle's strategy is really to architecturally eliminate complexity so our customers can lower their costs, their time to market, as well as their operational risk. And also to really enable, bring power and simplicity to data by bringing AI to the data instead of our customers having to take data out of their secure locations to use AI.
You just mentioned a couple of them, but what are some of the top challenges around data management today?
So I think in today's digital landscape, you're constantly being promised that the next tool, framework, or technology is going to solve all your pressing challenges. Yet every technology that you add is a commitment that compounds your technology and complexity debt. And this hidden cost is really eroding our customers' ability to do what matters most, which is meet their business requirements.
Right. And we talk about creating silos in all different aspects of Oracle technology. So in terms of solving those challenges on the database side and data management side, what is Oracle doing?
So what happens, this complexity makes life very difficult for developers where you need to figure out how to access all the data, for architects to figure out how to make it all run together, for IT departments to figure out how to secure and operate it. And what the Oracle strategy is really to engineer it together. The reason it creates this complexity is because this stuff is not engineered together. Every new thing comes with its own new database technology. And our customers have to do all the work of putting it together. We'd like to engineer it together at Oracle so that they don't have to do the work.
And part of engineering things together includes something like that we announced earlier this year, Exadata X11. Tell us more about what X11M does?
So engineered systems is our way to really bring the power of an engineered solution with hardware and software engineered together. Every year or so, we release a new version. X11M is the latest one. Latest hardware, a lot of software improvements. We've also launched Exascale, which is a new architecture that brings the benefits of cloud to Exadata, as well as a recovery appliance, which really helps our customers do a very efficient backup and protection against ransomware.
Another hot topic, we're covering off on all of them. Another hot topic is multi-cloud, or Oracle Autonomous Database is available in other major clouds, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Why are we offering this? What benefits are customers getting from that?
So this is really exciting for us because our customers have been asking for us to provide the database on their cloud of choice. Of course, it's been available on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI, but our customers really have choices that they've made in terms of which public cloud they want to run on, and they've been asking us to have the Oracle database available. So we've done a lot of engineering to make sure that it performs really well and that it is available. So, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, we've got it available, and now customers have the full flexibility to deploy Oracle in the public cloud of their choice.
And what are some of the end benefits that the customers get by having the database wherever they want it?
Well, so I think it's the flexibility and really performance and really the ability to maximize their investment. You can, for example, now use your cloud credits that you've purchased with these public clouds against Oracle. So it really gives them a lot of flexibility and power now to do what they want in their environment.
Yeah, and we're starting to hear from customers about the performance gains, the simplicity. So that's going well so far. Let's talk about another technology, 23AI, Database 23AI. What are some of the top groundbreaking innovations in 23AI?
So 23AI has like 300 new capabilities, but really the focus is around AI, and really the Oracle strategy is to bring AI to the data. I think most of our customers are struggling with how to use AI, and that requires them to move their data out, and that really creates a big challenge. So our strategy is to bring AI to the data and really make it more powerful that way.
And how else are we simplifying AI for data?
So vector database is a key component. Like I said, every new technology, every new wave has brought its own database. We believe that it should be much simpler and use it in Oracle. So we built vector database in Oracle with vector indexes, high performance, and really that brings two big benefits. One is you can now use SQL and vector similarity search together. Otherwise, you would not be able to do that. And second, all the capabilities in Oracle that you're used to, high availability, performance, security, manageability, all of that is available with the vector capability now. So you don't have to re-engineer a new system and then solve all those problems all over again.
And then expanding on some of those different data types, more than just vector, everything all in one place.
Yeah, so converged database is, again, a big part of our strategy. We really have done a lot of work to support new data types or, documents, JSON, search, text, spatial. It's really around making it easy for developers to be able to use a system where they can not only have the best mission critical capabilities, but also being able to mix and match the power of SQL with all these other data types.
One last topic you mentioned in your keynote is GenDev and the ability to use AI for your development, your database development projects. What are we doing to make this happen?
So I think the promise of AI, one of the big promise of AI is really to simplify development. Now, enterprise applications are very different. They need high security, reliability. Some of the large language models have problems with hallucination, etc. So enterprise application development is a whole other area, and we've really focused on matching what LLMs or AI does well with where you need human intervention to create a GenDev environment that can really allow you to get the productivity. We're also making that available in Apex, which is our low-code environment that's very popular. We use it internally. We have a lot of customers using it. With the Apex AI assistant, now you can use natural language to generate enterprise-grade applications.
Great. Well, that is a quick run through of so many things, but thank you so much for walking us through that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now let's take a closer look at 23 AI. And after that, we'll dive into the cloud, or maybe it's rise into the cloud with Raj Subramaniyan, SVP of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure for Networking.
AI needs data, lots and lots of data, but that data needs to be secure, trusted, and instantly accessible. So I'm excited to tell you about the all-new Oracle Database 23 AI. Now, instead of maintaining multiple databases and having to move your data to get AI-fueled insights, you're bringing AI straight to your data in one secure database. Plus, perform AI vector searches and retrieval augmented generation directly in the database. Get a free test drive at oracle.com/database.
Joining me now is Raj Subramaniyan. He is the SVP of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure for Networking. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and thanks for having me here.
It's great to have you. And you did a keynote earlier, the OCI keynote.
That's right.
What are some of the top takeaways that that you think the audience should remember? The talking points.
So the key theme of the keynote itself was your cloud, your way.
Right.
So this means, like, with all the bells and whistles to manage the cloud and all the capabilities that are available in a commercial public cloud, but launch the cloud in the customer's location, right? Like, the location of their choice. But more importantly, with all the AI capabilities as well, and the flexibility and the size of their choice, right? It could be like, really, really scaled down version, or it could be a large scale, but it's their choice. So your cloud, your way, that's the theme.
Okay, so we're going to unpack some of that, but if we start with, what's driving that from a customer standpoint, how would you answer that?
So maybe let's take a step back and talk about the different offerings that we have.
Sure.
Right. Other than the public cloud, the commercial cloud that we have, and the government cloud, gov cloud that we have, we've got dedicated regions that we offer to customers, and a smaller configuration of that, a smaller footprint version of that is called DR25. And then we've got Alloy, and then we've got multi-cloud. So all these different offerings, if you look at it, this is primarily for customers who have already invested in their IT infrastructure, right? And that could be on premises, like in their own data centers, or it could be in ecosystems and other clouds, say other cloud partners. That's where the multi-cloud comes in.
Sure.
Or it could be for data sovereignty, or it could be for any compliance reasons. The use cases are kind of widely spread across these different offerings, and so some of them it could be for performance reasons. So they need the data to be very close to where the data center is, and so they want the cloud services there. Or some of them, it is actually about security of the data. It's about compliance of where they do not want data to actually go beyond a certain reason. So those are the use cases we generally see where the investment is already made, and they want to still explore the cloud services.
So like something like DRCC, dedicated region, clouded customer, they've got the infrastructure set up, but now they want their workload, some of their workloads in a cloud, and Oracle comes in and manages that, running the OCI stack in their data center.
So it's not necessarily in a cloud. So they've got their workloads, they've got their applications running on premise, let's say, but they want cloud services. They want the different services that OCI has to offer. They want some of the database capabilities that we offer, some of the AI capabilities that we offer. And but they want all of those services to come to the data, not the data moved out to where we have all those services running. So that's where dedicated region comes in, and it is not a shared infrastructure. It is dedicated for the customer,
Right.
And it's got all the capabilities of what OCI has to offer in a commercial public region.
And so when we talk about something like sovereign cloud, that's largely the same setup, but they're using some of the sovereign capabilities.
That is correct. So when it comes to sovereign cloud, they have additional, generally more stringent regulations and compliance that need to be met, and how they need to be the data needs to be audited, or what kind of logs and what kind of observability mechanisms that need to be deployed, and how they need to protect the data, what kind of air gap situation that they need to be in.
Sure.
all of that makes a difference. And so it's a variation of the dedicated region, but with additional stringent regulatory compliance stuff.
You mentioned scale down. What's the use case for scaling down?
That's interesting, isn't it? Like, why would somebody want to scale down? So if you look at it, generally many of the customers, enterprise customers of ours, who have not started their cloud journey, who want to explore the cloud, generally start off small. We are definitely super proud of our super clusters that we have launched, right? Like the 128K version super cluster. But not all customers want that. They want to start small, and then they want to explore, and as they get comfortable with our cloud offerings, they want to get bigger. So that's where our DR25 offering comes in, like a smaller footprint version of our dedicated region that comes in. And having a scale down story actually enables customers to start their cloud migration, cloud journey.
Let's go back to the scale up part and talk about AI infrastructure. We're at Zetascale supercluster, 131,000 GPUs. What are we doing that differentiates Oracle's approach to that sort of supercomputing environment?
See, again, on this one, the underlying infrastructure, underlying technology that enables this kind of a scale, I want to go a little bit back and talk about the technology that we use there. So the RDMA technology that we have, that's not new to us. We've been using RDMA in Exadata and other database offerings of ours for a long time now. So we've been incrementally making progress and having a lot of innovation in that space. So now we know how to scale the RDMA technology. We have partnered with several of our vendors, like switching vendors and partners, and GPU vendors and partners. And there is a lot of innovation in that space, which enables this kind of a scale where the GPUs have to communicate with each other. There's a lot of around congestion control, how we spray packets between the GPUs, like how do we load balance the packets, how do we manage the congestion in the network fabric. So there's a ton of innovation that has gone into this space. And again, as I said, like this is not something that we just started 2 years ago, and this is a journey for like 6-8 years.
Yeah.
And that's where the differentiating factor comes in. So we have done a lot of innovation in this space that enables us to use this network fabric and the full capability of the GPUs without any idle time, without any downtime. So that is the key differentiator in my opinion.
One other more recent thing is we have obviously a deep partnership with NVIDIA, but we made some announcements this week with NVIDIA. Can you talk about what customers can look for here?
Yeah, see, we have customers who need different things in terms of AI capabilities, right? So we offer, like Oracle has a unique position, a unique advantage of having investments in across all the layers of AI, like be it infrastructure, like top of the line infrastructure, best in class, or all the way up to like our SaaS offerings. Right. So there are also customers who don't want to build frontier models, like foundational models. Yep. They want to be able to just fine tune existing models and then suit their applications. That's where some of the announcements and the partnership that we have with NVIDIA comes in, where we are partnering with NVIDIA to offer more AI services, AI models, and also more importantly, more tooling that they can deploy on OCI, take advantage of them, fine tune the applications, fine tune the models to suit their applications, and take advantage of it. So that's and it's pretty exciting. What we have, the number of tools that we're actually launching, it's phenomenal.
Great. Well, we're out of time, so thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations on all the great success with OCI.
Thank you, Fritz. It was great talking to you.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and right after that, we will be back with WM Morrisons to talk about their own transformation to the cloud. Just in time, because I'm getting hungry. Be right back.
If your business is all in on AI, it's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. OCI is the blazing fast and secure platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, plus all your AI and machine learning workloads. It powers your business to run any application for less. In fact, OCI costs 50% less for compute and 80% less for networking. Take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/cloud.
I'm lucky to be joined by David Hill, Technology Manager, Head of Service for Morrisons. Thank you for joining me.
No problem at all.
Okay, now I'm sure people here in the UK are familiar with Morrisons, but maybe as the place that they buy their groceries. But tell us about the company. How many stores, how many employees, its history?
Yeah, sure. Look, Morrisons is a great story, right? We started as a market stall over 100 years ago in Bradford. Over the last century, we've been building up the number of stores we've got. We are currently we have 500 supermarkets. And then in the last probably 4 or 5 years, we've been focusing on convenience as well. And we've got another 1,500 convenience stores. So we've got 2,000 stores. As well as that, we have a wholesale business, which we've very much been focusing on recently, and online as well. So we kind of cover pretty much all of the channels.
So over the years, a lot of adjacent businesses, maybe some acquisitions in there. I think you have a children's clothing line.
Yes, yeah.
Online food delivery. How has Morrisons been able to adapt to all of these changes, these new markets you enter?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I mean, as you say, we've had the clothing business. We've got our own trawler. So it's a very mixed mash of kind of all different parts of the business. And I think what I've seen in my time at Morrisons is whenever we acquire a new business or whenever we take on a new business, it's how we manage that change. And I think the first thing that we try to do is we try to make sure that everyone understands the journey that Morrisons is on. What is it that we stand for? And more importantly, why have we focused on that part of the business? Why have we acquired something? I think when everyone understands the why, it makes it really easy. It makes it easier. It's never easy, but it makes it easier for kind of people to kind of get on board and kind of understand we're doing this for that reason.
Got it. Great. Well, I haven't seen so many different varieties of business in a long time. So congratulations on all that. And from a technology point of view, Morrisons has been undergoing a transformation to the cloud. What drove that initiative, and why did you choose to partner with Oracle in that?
Okay, well, look, I've known Oracle since kind of the PeopleSoft days when Oracle acquired PeopleSoft. So we've been working with Oracle for a good number of years now, and I think we're probably like a lot of companies. We had the on-prem solution. So if I think of our HCM, we had that on-prem solution. We sweated it for a number of years. To the point where, every 4 weeks we were kind of crossing our fingers, is the payroll going to run, because we haven't touched it for a while. And we just naturally got to that point where it was time to do something different. I think we had to do something different. And I think the choice at the time to go to the cloud was, to be honest, probably a bit of it was we were sold this dream. But in reality, it was that it's that part where we've been in a world where we've had a solution that has not really been touched, and we've had to use it for a number of years. And then this idea of going to the cloud, where actually all of a sudden we have a solution that will be maintained for us, that gets regular updates, that will mean that as a business we can offer our colleagues something that's really going to work for them as well.
Fantastic, and we hear that from a lot of customers, like becoming believers after moving to the cloud.
Yeah.
What are some of the tangible and intangible benefits that you're experiencing because of this?
Yeah, I think building on that last point, I would say kind of those tangible benefits is very much around stability. Absolutely. I think knowing that we've got a kind of a bigger support team behind us in Oracle in terms of if we have any issues with the platform. But really, I think the main tangible benefit for us is really having a platform that we can continue to work on. So as our business evolves, the products evolve, and that is great for us. That just means that we can offer our colleagues, or we can do what the business needs, because we know we've got a platform or platforms behind us that really work.
And what do you think has changed as a result of this move?
I think the mindset the mindset has been a massive change. And I think, look, we've been on that, the people who have been directly involved, whether it be the two I've been directly involved in is the Cloud HCM and then most recently Oracle EBS. And I think it's that journey of moving to the cloud and understanding what that means. We came into this journey thinking that everything would be, it's great, the cloud's going to be brilliant. But then when you actually get there and you have to give it as much as attention as it gives to you, I think. And we've done that as a bit of a learning journey over the last few years where we have really had to upskill ourselves. But actually the benefit we've got from that has been we can now do things internally that, 4 years ago when we first went into the venture, we needed to rely on kind of implementation partners. So we've had a real big change in terms of that knowledge and skill set that we brought in-house.
Now, one of the things that the cloud ushers in today is AI. And I don't want you to wait as long on the cloud, but how has Morrison started to think about AI?
I think broadly, you can't have a sentence nowadays without someone saying AI, right? First of all, I think it's my personal opinion is I think it's weeding out those, what are the practical use cases versus this will be good because we can do it with AI. What we are seeing in the HR space as an example, so help desk. We are doing a lot of work now where we're starting to understand how AI can help us with our HR help desk. The thing that we're looking at right now is we have a team who do a lot of triaging of the cases. So when someone raises a case with us, comes in, we have a team who triage it first, and then it goes to the right team. Well, we're pretty confident in the not too distant future we'll be able to redeploy those people to do other things because actually the systems will just do that for us. In the EBS suite, we are doing a lot around finance and reporting. There's a lot more that they are waking up to and understanding the power of AI. But again, I think we're still just trying to find our feet and go. It's not like it's a kid in a candy shop is probably the way up.
Those early examples, those are classic and great and useful cases for AI.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for sharing your transformation journey. I may stop by the bakery on my way out to pick some things up.
Get some fresh bread. Absolutely.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, I can hardly believe it, but we are coming to an end here, and we'll be right back after this to close up the show.
When time is money, speed matters. And for businesses, top speeds come with upgrading to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. OCI is the single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI with workload performance up to 10 times faster. With AI commanding more processing power, speed is everything. Take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/cloud.
And that's a wrap on Oracle Cloud World Tour 2025. I had a blast. I hope you did too. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed today's show, please make sure to give us a follow, a like, a subscribe so you don't miss out. And in fact, I mentioned that this is the 11th stop here in London on the Global Cloud World Tour. Oracle TV will be back in New York in early May. And then for the grand finale, the biggest event of the year, CloudWorld Las Vegas, where I'll be joined by my partner in crime, Kendall Fire. And if you want to see what Kendall was up to earlier this week at CloudWorld Tour Sydney, we got some highlights coming up. And I hope to see you at the next stop.
We are here at Oracle Cloud World Sydney.
The new technologies Oracle is introducing and all the new things that they're doing, especially the AI stuff, has been really exciting so far.
So I've been to Las Vegas for the Cloud World, even though there might be one or two people from each of the organizations who would travel all the way to Las Vegas. Up here, there are 5 or 6 from the same organization who come in. They get to learn a lot more about the innovations as well. So yeah, please keep it going. I'd like to see more of these events in Sydney.
So hearing from customers that are, similar to us, that have adopted Oracle Cloud Fusion, the same as our company, in the same position that we're in, is most important.